Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. Look who's here, Richard Iyall. Maybe you've been a guest here more than any other person. I don't know.
Over a dozen times.
Cowlitz elder, artist, photographer, poet, and also you've been helping me a little with some health products. We'll get to those in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
You're telling me this interesting story about World War I, the Great War.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Okay. When World War I happened, there were indigenous people, indigenous warriors from this country who fought in the war for the United States. You know, and they were really dedicated to helping save this country, to save the freedom and independence and all that for this country. But they were not citizens.
They weren't yet citizens.
They were not yet citizens.
So they go, they serve, they come back, and there's benefits for the veterans, but not for the...
Right. But since they had no citizenship, they could not get the veteran benefits that other warriors got.
Did you know that? I did not know that. I had no idea of that. I studied World War I a lot, and I did not know that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
So when that happened, well, then people realized they weren't getting the benefits, and they were so dedicated.
Yeah.
You know, so there was a movement to try to get Indian people, indigenous people out of the country to get citizenship. And so my grandfather, I told you the story before, Frank A. Iyall, he wrote the wording for the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924.
He wrote it?
He wrote it.
Wow.
And so he submitted it. It became known as the Snyder Act. It was sponsored by Homer P. Snyder, a representative from New York, a Republican. And so it passed both houses of Congress, and this was just to give, so the indigenous warriors that fought in World War I could get benefits, like all the other veterans.
Amazing.
So it passed, and Calvin Cooley signed into the law, and it's been in the law of the country for just over 100 years now.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Always learn something when you're here, Richard. Should we look at these pictures?
Yeah, sure.
Tell us about these. Now, this is a really handsome guy here. Who is that?
That's me. This was taken in 1994, and I was sitting in the pilot seat of the one and only original C-41. It fought in World War II.
Yeah. I can see now that it's you. I just...
Oh. Yeah, I looked somewhat different back then. I was working for Otis Spunkmeyer, and at the time, the owners of the company, Otis Spunkmeyer, Ken and Linda Rawlings, they also owned Otis Spunkmeyer Air. And so they had a couple of planes that they chartered. It was based out of the Oakland Airport, and so that they would use it for flights around the Bay Area and stuff, and it was used to carry the Doolittle Raiders, around 93 and 94. And so this was taken in 1994. This was on April of 1994, after General Jimmy Doolittle had passed away in 93.
So it's about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
30 years ago.
So, they'd been having these get-togethers once a year, and since Doolittle had passed, they wanted to make this one a great big, big one.
Yeah.
And so they had like 7 B-25 bombers come from around the country.
I remember when they were doing that.
Yeah, they came to Fresno, and since Fresno had been so supportive of the, the whole thing, the veterans and everything, that they decided to have the big event here in Fresno. And so they flew to Van Nuys first and had an event there, and then they flew up to Fresno in this plane, C-41, also called the DC-3. It was a prototype for the C-47.
Tell us about this next picture.
And so these are the Doolittle Raiders, 11 living Doolittle Raiders.
Now, where was this? This is in Fresno or Oakland?
No, neither. This is up at Beale Air Force Base. This is after. See, I very fortunately got to go on the plane with the Doolittle Raiders when they had the flight to honor Jimmy Doolittle.
Yeah.
And so we flew around Pebble Beach, where Jimmy Doolittle had been living. We had a flyover. We had a drop of a whole bunch of carnations. And the pilot of the plane I was in, he dropped a rose that I had picked in my garden that morning.
How'd you get on the plane, Richard?
I got on the plane because it was owned by Otis Spunkmeyer Air, and I was working for Otis Spunkmeyer.
I'll be darned.
And so the year before, the pilot said, "We'll come back next year, and you can get a ride. Well, next year it turned out to be a very big year.
Yeah. Oh, darn.
So I got the very last seat, not only on this plane, but of the whole entourage of planes. All the other ones were packed. You know, they were all completely full, and you know, this is the lead plane with all the Doolittle Raiders on it. And so the engines were all running, and they're getting ready to take off. All the Doolittle Raiders got on the plane, and they did a check of the seats and everything. And somebody showed up and said, "Do you have any more room on your plane? Because we got VIPs. They're supposed to be on the flight, and there's no more seats left." So they all got on the plane, and there was just enough seats. And then, so I was sitting there, you know, I could only go if there was a seat for me.
Yeah.
So they were about ready to take off, and then the pilot comes out at the last minute and says, "Hey, Richard, come on the plane. You can sit in the injection seat."
I'll be tough.
So I got on the plane.
Now, we're going to move to this next issue?
Yeah, and the reason I brought out the C-47 is, well, the C-41, it was a prototype for the C-47, because, as you know, yeah, you can move on, yeah, I am now independent distributor of Avini Health products, and there's a man who, he's a science advisory, on the science advisory board for Avini Health, called Chip Littlejohn. And during the World War II time, he was a commander for some very special forces, and in the Air Force.
Wow.
And so his crew never quite flew to Vietnam to fight, but he was very special, and just nowadays every Wednesday morning he has a talk about Avini Health products. And so last Wednesday morning he talked about how he had been on a C-47, and you know, he jumped out of.
You jumped out of one.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that made me remember my story of the Doolittle Raiders and all that. So that's why I brought that in.
When you walked in today, I said, "Richard, I need some of that product that you gave me. It gave me energy." That's Avini, right?
Avini. Yeah.
Avini, yeah. And I don't like to take stuff. I don't like to take like what do you call those monster drinks and stuff kids take to get them in. I don't like any of that. I don't like too much coffee. I get jittery. But the product you gave me was very, it really, I liked it.
Yeah, this is called Avini Plus Energy. And it does have caffeine in it, so that gives you a boost, but it also has adaptogens in it. It's all natural stuff, and so our biochemists developed it so that it's going to give you energy, it's going to give you clarity, focus, help you get things done, but it's not going to give you the jitters.
Jitters, yeah. I did not get the jitters because I wouldn't have taken it again if I did.
Yeah.
So it's good for me. Now, what's this on the screen here?
That's Avini Cell Defender. That's our tip of the spear product, and it's actually something that goes into our body. This is little drops, and you take orally, and it goes in and it picks up toxins, heavy metals. So it cleans out lead, mercury, cadmium, arsenic, aluminum, all kinds of bad stuff.
I wonder about that, how you could get those heavy metals. I know I'm eating mercury all the time, I bet. You know,
oh, yeah.
with fish and stuff.
Yeah, the thing about mercury and lead and things like that, once it gets in your body has a real hard time getting rid of it. So what the body normally does, it may put it in some fat somewhere and then try to store it somewhere in your body where there's slow moving fluid, so it just
stays there, huh?
Yeah, so it's not going to get into your system too much and bother you. Although it does, you know, like mercury, it can get into cells and take the place where you should have beneficial minerals like calcium. And so this goes in. We also have it in a glass bottle. So it, you know, depending on what you want.
Is that the same thing or something?
Yeah,
different?
same thing. So it just goes in and it collects all that bad stuff, you know. And so like the mercury and all that stuff, and so it's very safe. You could drink the whole bottle; it's not going to hurt you. Yeah. Put it in your eyes, you know. And the only thing, if you take too much, the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to waste some.
Yeah.
Because if you take more than 15 drops at a time, some of it's going to be wasted.
Yeah.
But if you just take up to 10 drops or so at a time, it's going to go in and collect all that bad stuff. And our biochemist, he's a content category creator for what's called the zeolite for systemic detoxification. He developed it over 20 years ago.
And where, Richard, can we get these products?
You can get them through Avini Health, and I am an independent distributor, so anybody could go to the Avini Health website /Richard Iyall, and they could order through the website with my name.
Yeah. And by the way, there's a link here with Richard Iyall on the YouTube. When it goes out, it'll be a clickable link. They can just click and it'll take them right to your site. So.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So I haven't tried the Cell Defender.
Yeah.
I've not tried that yet, but I have tried what do you call it? Give me a little
Plus Energy.
Yeah.
Avini Plus Energy.
Plus Energy.
Yeah.
Nice.
And this has a little bit of zeolite in it too, and that's just to help clean out your system. But this one, it has micronized zeolite in it, so it gets into your blood and lymphatic system easily. When most zeolites that are healthy, like what's in here, it only gets into your intestines and it doesn't get into your blood that much.
Excellent.
But it's going to do something.
Yeah, go read up on that website, Richard's website, Avini Health. What's this picture of?
That is a picture of the Avini Casino Resort Hotel, which is owned by the Cowlitz Indian tribe, which I'm a member of, and it's in the state of Washington.
It's beautiful. Is it brand new?
It's been open just over a year.
Yeah,
a year in April.
It's a beautiful.
And the reason I brought it up now, it's a 4-diamond hotel, and our hotel, our casino, we have a tobacco outlet and all kinds of things. It's all paid for now. We're totally out of debt.
Nice. Wow. Now, where in the state is that? In the state of Washington?
It's about 16 miles north of the Columbia River, right by I-5.
By I-5. Oh, the I-5 would go from California all the way up to.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you can drive up there, and it has an exit right there by the casino. In fact, we paid to have a interchange built right there, so it's nice and easy, getting off the freeway and getting back on. We put a lot of money into that to make it easy for people. And then this photo that's coming up, that's a photo of a drum, Indian-made drum, that my father gave me for my 50th birthday.
50th birthday,
yeah.
Which was how long ago? I don't want you to don't want you to give anything away, but you look very young and healthy. So
yeah, that was in the year 2000.
Okay,
so.
okay. We can do the math there.
But the reason I'm bringing this stuff up is because this month of November is Indian or the Native American History Month.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
Yeah.
And here's good old Richard doing something. Where is that taken, Richard?
That was taken in Las Vegas at a summit by Avini Health.
Nice. Now, Richard, I said you're also a poet. We're almost out of time, but before we go, I want you to maybe read one of your poems to us.
Would this one be too long?
No, it's perfect.
Okay, it's 2 pages.
All right.
Okay, this one's a very recent one. It's called "It's Up to You, Beloved One." It's such a tragic loss to me to know the things I know and see the things I see. Your keys to health can bring you wealth if you would get a key. Our Mother Nature gives us gifts to make our lives divine. Creator of the universe gives us intelligent design. Yet oligarchic energies have used their sense of will to take the freedom from the free while finding ways to kill. I want to break the chains that cause you so much pain. The power that I have inside is limitless to me. But on the sacred planet Earth, the people's will is free. I cannot make you take the steps. An infant child who is still wild must take its own first steps. It's up to you, beloved one, to find the harmony. While Earth may have a setting sun, the universe is always here for thee. Oh, that was it.
Very nice, Richard. Very nicely done. You honor us with a poem, and I appreciate it very much. I can't wait for you to come back. Richard
Well,
Iyall.
thank you, Mike.
Yeah, go to there, Avini Health, Avini, I always say it wrong, AviniHealth.com/Richard Iyall, spelled Iyall. I always spell it wrong, but like I said, we'll have the clickable link. They can click and go right to it.
Great.
Don't go anywhere, because we're going to have coming up next an author in our Authors from Around the World series. We'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.